Hi everyone, happy New Year's Eve! Did you miss me? Because I missed you, and I'm sorry that I've been away so long. I've just been taking in and reflecting on all the growth I've done in the past year, but I'm finally back to give you all another podcast episode about how I'm going to start off on the right foot in 2025 into entering the new era of me. I finally feel like a new person and like I've returned to myself. And as you all know, I keep repeating it, but for the last 2 years, I've felt like I've been a shell of myself, and I've done a lot of self-isolating, and it was really tough, but I finally feel like my body is home. I finally feel like spiritually I am at peace with myself. My self-isolation, I don't necessarily feel that it was a bad thing. I feel like it was necessary, and especially looking at Destiny Matrix, I feel like it makes even more sense. In the year of 2023 and 2024, I was sitting in my yearly energy of 9, which represents the Hermit. And the Hermit is all about self-reflection and solitude and sitting with yourself and really thinking about what your purpose is. I know this may not make sense to a lot of you, but I will talk a little bit about Destiny Matrix. So you might be asking, Maggie, what the hell is Destiny Matrix and what the hell are you talking about? So, as a little summary, Destiny Matrix is like a personal map that is catered to you, that's made up of numerology and also the major arcana cards of a tarot deck. And the numbers that make up your matrix chart represent one of 22 major arcana card energies. And like I mentioned before, my years of solitude have really made sense to me because I was sitting in the energy of number 9, which represents the Hermit. And I would definitely recommend it, or just looking it up. It's very easy to look up. If you look up, Destiny Matrix chart, usually the first or second link that shows up, you can put in your birth date, your birth year, and your birth month, and then it will map out your chart for you. And from there, you can look into what yearly energy you are based off of your current age. So, I guess as an example, my Destiny Matrix states or indicates that I will be entering a yearly energy of 22, and 22 represents the Fool card. And it may sound a little off-putting at first because you're like, the Fool, like that means you must be entering a funny energy, like bad things are going to happen to you. But actually, number 22, the Fool being the last card in the major arcana deck, actually represents new beginnings and new opportunities. And like I'm telling you all, like I finally feel like I returned to myself and I'm so ready for my Fool energy, okay? This is all about new opportunities, new beginnings for me, and time for me to make shit happen, okay? I'm just so excited about it. If you do want to hear about Destiny Matrix a little more, like I'm happy to go more into it, just not super in depth in this podcast, but yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It's very insightful. It's not necessarily like a fortune teller layout, but like it's kind of like a rough guide, or like a rough guide, I would say, to really understanding what themes are occurring in your life and why at a certain time. It just really checks out. Like you can see like your love line is charted out, your career line is charted out, and I actually looked into one of my friend's Destiny Matrix charts, and honestly, like it checked out with her life too, and where she is right now, and her career and her love life. And all I will say is, like, I'm a believer. Like I said before, it's not a fortune teller. It's not going to map out how your life is going to go out. Just like when you get a tarot reading, it's not necessarily telling your fortune of what's actually going to happen. Obviously use discernment, but it's just a fun little kind of guider map for yourself. But to scale back, I am entering my yearly energy of 22 based off of my Destiny Matrix, which again represents new beginnings and opportunities. And to be totally honest with you guys, I just find myself, like, it's not anything in particular, but I just find myself getting excited about doing things again, and I really want to be more present on my social media platforms this new year. If you have been watching my YouTube videos outside of my podcast, like, you see that I've been doing some ASMR creation videos, and it's just been a really nice outlet for me. Yeah, if you like ASMR, you should definitely check those videos out. It's really simple right now, and my current setup at home is really, really, like, bad, because it's also a goal of mine to move out and get my own place in 2025 as well, so I've been working towards that. So I've really downsized my room and what I'm keeping in my room, and I've just kind of given myself the push and motivation to really make that happen by not having so much shit in my room and having it packed away, so that it's a visual every single day when I come back home from work that, like, yes, 2025 is going to be a year, okay? You're going to have your own space. You're going to have the best setup ever. You are going to be achieving all of your goals and dreams, Maggie. And the best way to make things happen is to create habits for yourself. So that's why my friend Maggie and I are going to be doing a 100 days challenge where we both set 3 to 5 goals. And the goal is to achieve it within the 100 days. And I just want to say, Maggie, if you're listening to this, thank you for bringing this to my attention and wanting to hold each other accountable. I think that this is also the year of action for me. Maybe I already said that, but it really is. Like, I need to start making shit happen. I need to stop just laying around and, like, hoping that it's gonna happen for me, okay? At the beginning of 2024, I will say I already proved to myself that I can make my manifestations happen, and also proved to myself how powerful the way you speak to yourself and how powerful your words truly are when you speak things into existence, okay? At the beginning of the year, you all know that I was terribly miserable in my job. I told myself that I was gonna find a job in the environmental field. It was going to be a government job, and then what happened after that? I felt like my county job literally just fell into my fucking lap like that. Like, talk about divine timing, okay? It was magical. When I really reflect on that, I'm like, holy shit, that job came to me so easily. So an example, going back to the 100 days challenge, right? An example that I'd have for myself is, like, posting on my social media platforms for 100 days consistently, and also being good about planning my content ahead of time. I've created my vision board, and one image at the top is building my online presence. So that's just one example I'm really excited to build on and to achieve. I have also, I mean, even this podcast here, it may sound a little sloppy, but, like, I've scripted out and bullet pointed a lot of my future podcast videos, and I just want to be more planned out. I think in my last podcast, I was very just, like, all over the place, just yapping. It was kind of like more of a therapy session for me and less of a podcast, but I'm very grateful for everyone who did listen through to all of my yap sessions. I want them to be a little more structured and focused on one subject. So, yeah, definitely scripting out and planning ahead all of my video ideas and podcast ideas. I think that if you have a bad habit, like myself, of listing out plenty of things that you want to do, but then you just don't set a goal to motivate yourself, then you should definitely try the 100 days challenge, because you'll be done by, like, beginning of April, mid-April, and then you'll find that you've built all these really good habits that are getting you to where you want to be in the new year, or just in general in your life, right? Like, some things don't have to be just like a one and done goal. It can be adding to your lifestyle change of a long-term, life that you want to be living. And so, right, like I said, I struggle a lot to motivate myself to do things that I know that I want to do. So this challenge is, like, the perfect Kickstarter for me, especially now that I'm out of college and I don't have a lot of shit on my plate, and, like, I'm like, don't have a lot of things to be depressed about. Like, this is the best, like, I'm in my prime to make moves in general. So this is all that I really wanted to hit on in this podcast today, about just taking the first steps to entering a new era of me and being very intentional about it, and knowing that if I want to make shit happen for myself, then I need to put in the work, okay? It's not just gonna happen. that easily, okay? Parts of your vision board, parts of your goals in life are going to require you to take a lot of action. And now I'm out of my rut, and I truly realized that. And there were a lot of things happening in my life where I didn't realize I was putting in the work. And that part of it, I feel like I've just fully reflected, gone full circle on them. But I really wanted to close out. I'm filming this on the last day of the year, and I really wanted to close out on with a dream that I had on the night of my mom's birthday, so on December 18th. And the reason why I can really describe this to you all is because I woke up afterwards and I journaled about it. So what I had my dream about was that I dreamt that I was attending like a big gala or like a large event of some sort, and I had been informed kind of last minute that each keynote guest, and somehow I was a keynote guest, would have to prepare a slide introducing themselves. And I just remember feeling very nervous and telling myself that I had accomplished very little and I had nothing to say about myself. But then, like, my higher self came to me in my dream and told me, like, Maggie, you've accomplished so much. Don't ever speak to yourself that way. And then, like, that was, like, my wake-up call in my dream, and everything just, like, clicked for me. It was kind of, like, life-changing, because it made me realize, like, wow, like, these last couple of years, and just in general, like, going through college, I like belittled myself a lot, and I downplayed my achievements, and I just realized that, like, over the span of 2 years, I have accomplished a lot. Like, I was commissioned for my college's department mascots, and I made a good chunk of money from that. Again, I easily landed a government job, and I graduated from a top liberal arts college. And there's so much that I've accomplished and so much I have to be proud of. And then it dawned on me also how much of an impact I've had on the people around me. And, like, I feel like I'm gonna get emotional talking about it, but I really don't want to cry, okay? Because this is what I'm closing out with, is, like, how much of, like, a positive light and a positive figure I've been to people around me. Like, I've had so many friends and also coworkers tell me that the energy I give off is so warm and welcoming and safe, and they feel safe to tell me things, and the way that I make them feel is so good. And they tell me it's so obvious that I have so much love and positivity to give, and that I'm someone they want to be around, because, right, that good energy, that positive energy is so contagious. And I am just so incredible. I'm so deserving, and I'm so deserving of everything that I desire in life. And I hope that this is the way that you all will step into the new year, thinking of yourselves, because you truly deserve everything that you desire, and everything that you desire is already yours. It's just a matter of making that shit happen. And this is not me, like, bragging about how great I am, but this is just to say that it's too often that people overlook themselves and downplay their achievements, when really, like, you have to realize that you are that bitch, and you need to speak to yourself and about yourself like you are that bitch, because you are. And it's true that the way you speak about yourself is going to have an impact on your manifestations, on your outlook on life, on your perception of yourself, how you move, and how you are perceived by others. And I just want to say, you know, like, people can pick up on when you're insecure, or people can pick up on your negative energy, and they use that as a determination on whether or not they want to be around you long term. So if you didn't take away, if this was too long of a podcast for you, and you only can take away one thing, I hope that your takeaway for today is to speak kindly to yourself and start believing that you deserve everything you desire, and that you start moving as the version of yourself that already has everything that you want in life. So with that, I just want to say thank you so much for listening, and I'm sending a lot of good vibes and positive energy, and I will see you all next time in my next podcast. So I love you all so much. Goodbye and Happy New Year.